Welcome, Wanderers. Baus Phoenix here. If you're anything like me, you've just discovered where winds meet, and you're clocking more hours in it than your day job. And also, like me, you've probably taken a few wrong turns already. That's alright. Failure forges us, sometimes misshapen and warped, but sharp all the same. If you found this video early, consider it a signpost. Where winds meet is huge, and this isn't an exhaustive guide, but these basics will prepare you for your time in the Jianghu. Let's dive in. This brings us to tip 1. Take your time exploring. The world moves at your pace and rewards wandering, not sprinting from marker to marker. Some of the best parts in this game aren't shown on the map at all. Hidden chests, time-sensitive encounters, unmarked NPC interactions, environmental challenges, tiny historical details you'll miss if you blaze past. The world is designed to be lived in, not just checked off. Pick a direction and get lost on purpose. As you explore, you'll naturally progress. Almost everything you do, gathering, discovering, crafting, fighting, it awards XP and currency. Just don't forget to turn your wind sense on occasionally to spot gatherables, treasures, or other interactable items. As a side note, combat and rewards scale with your level, which means nothing you miss becomes obsolete. You can always go back and the game will still meet you where you are. Honestly, that might be my favorite thing about Where Winds Meet. The world moves with you, not ahead of you. Moving on, tip 2 is pack the essentials. Preparedness in Where Winds Meet isn't about fear, it's about respect. Respect for the world, for the fight ahead, and for the version of yourself you're shaping. Pack accordingly. Everyone's loadout evolves with their playstyle, but there are a few staples. Chief among those are medicines. These are your lifeline. If you've played Souls games, think of them like an Estus flask. You'll get them through quests, by crafting via the healing profession, or from various shopkeepers. There are several types, and they vary in strength. Hemostatic powder is the weakest, but easiest to obtain from the merchants. If you're not spec'd into the healing job, this will be your bread and butter in combat. To increase how many of these you can carry, turn in medicinal tales at Evercare Clinic. This upgrades your medicine chest. You'll get stronger heals, more charges, etc. Food is also an important item to bring for any wanderer. There are tons of dishes in this game that you can cook or buy, and many give buffs. Set the food auto-use threshold to 0 in your menu so meals passively heal you as you explore. This is incredibly helpful in long dungeons or puzzle-heavy areas without checkpoints. You'll also need arrows. You use these constantly for puzzles, traversal, combat utility, etc. The game gives you mandatory arrows when needed, but carrying extra is smart. They can be bought, they can be crafted, you can find these all over the place. You can also get elemental arrows through certain quests, and these are pretty fun to use as well. Signposts are more fun than practical, but that matters, so they deserve a place on this list. Think of them like Soulsborne soapstones, except here you can type whatever you want. They're a good way to make your mark on the world and also function as summon signs for co-op. Just drop one before a tough encounter and help other wanderers out. Divine craft materials are the last item on our list here, and once you unlock them in the talent tree, you'll start consuming elemental reagents for the weapon buffs. There's fire oil, toxic powder, aqua wax. These all add huge damage and utility to your kit, so collect them. You can farm each corresponding material by highlighting it on the map from your bag. The game will show you where the resources spawn densely, so all you've got to do is go and gather. Just don't forget your wind sense when gathering, because the plants can blend into the scenery and be hard to detect. As a bonus tip, consider setting divine craft materials to auto-use in the game menu. This ensures they apply whenever you enter combat. You'll use them quickly this way though, so keep an eye on your materials. Okay, tip 3. Let's talk about gear and how to fight in this game. Where Winds Meet features a surprisingly deep combat system that's built around 7 different weapon classes. You've also got martial arts, mystic skills, and inner ways to supplement your builds and develop your own unique playstyle. So here's the breakdown on that. Every weapon has a light attack chain, a heavy attack chain, and a charged heavy with unique properties that are based on your martial art. Each martial art gives you 2 active skills labeled by role. You've got DPS, tank, and heals. You can equip 2 of these martial arts at a time, and switching them will dramatically change your playstyle and co-op utility, so be sure to experiment and get comfortable switching between them. It'll make you a true monster. Let's talk about choosing martial arts for a second. Most combinations in the game are viable. I played pretty much the whole thing using a Stonebreaker spear and strategic sword build, and had a blast. Using 2 martial arts from the same family, like my Bellstrike Umbra setup, however, is more optimized for endgame because it streamlines your gear sets and your bonuses. But remember, this is your journey. Use martial arts that speak to you, and forge your own legend. Moving on, let's show you how to defend yourself. You have 3 major defensive tools in Where Winds Meet. You can dodge, with a perfect dodge slowing time for a few seconds. This is useful against yellow aura attacks since they can't be deflected or blocked. Dodging does burn stamina fast though, so keep that in mind. Stamina is usually best spent to activate your mystic skills and your martial arts abilities. You can deflect. You can also block, which mitigates damage from awkward chains you can't safely deflect. Mystic skills are another important part of your kit. These are universal abilities not tied to your weapon or martial arts. You'll use them to solve puzzles and fight in combat. I would always recommend keeping Cloud Step, Tai Chi, Celestial Seas, and Meridian Touch on your bar. Boss mechanics and puzzles rely on these constantly. Master these mystic skills, and you will fear no man or bear. Lastly, let's briefly touch on Inner Ways. These are passive buffs that are unlocked mainly through doing quests and various exploration. Some of these also dramatically modify your martial arts, giving you access to new abilities. For example, Sword Horizon adds a finisher to every strategic sword skill. To upgrade your Inner Ways, you'll need the corresponding Inner Way notes to increase their power. These can be found through merchants, sword trials, exploration, dungeons, and various other activities. That was a lot of info, so let's just take a second to sum that up. Weapons are your base. Martial arts are your moves and your role. Mystic skills are your utility. Inner Ways are your passive engine, and if you ever feel lost in any of this, feel free to consult the improvement guide in the development tab. This gives you a ready-made build, gear sets, martial art pairings, and recommended Inner Ways that are actually very effective. Alright, let's set the sword down for a moment and talk about tip 4, choosing a profession. At the time of this video, there are 2 of them. You can be a healer who crafts advanced medicines and cures illnesses that other players gain during adventures, or a scholar. They resolve accusations you accumulate and craft consumable buff scrolls. Both professions offer cosmetics, achievements, and gameplay perks. Level them early and benefit often. Alright, we made it to the last tip, and that is make a friend. Where Winds Meet leans hard into its MMO roots. You can play solo, and the story fully supports that, but you would be missing half the magic. Co-op unlocks systems, bonuses, shared challenges, and even an intimacy system if you want to get married for stats or outfits. If real people aren't your thing though, don't worry. There are AI-controlled NPCs you can befriend for persistent rewards. Talk to everyone, and be kind while doing so. And that's it, Wanderer. 5 simple lessons to guide your first steps through the Jianghu. Where Winds Meet is a world that rewards curiosity, patience, and a little bit of courage, and if you let it, it'll give you stories you'll carry long after you log out. If this helped you sharpen your blade or steady your footing, let me know. I'm planning more guides, deep dives, and maybe even a few history tours of places most players just run right past. Until then, walk with purpose, fight with grace, and may the winds always meet in your favor. I'll see you out there.